It's cold today, not as cold as the previous days, so maybe it's getting warmer. And what did I read today? It seems like there's more news about things, for example, drones that are weaponized, and now, from the sounds of it, a lot of places are trying to find countermeasures. How about this first one? This one says, U.S. tech companies prepare for potential drone attacks as international strikes spark concern. U.S. tech companies and government agencies are racing to develop defenses against potential terrorist drone attacks, a threat that has security experts increasingly concerned as they've watched the rise of drone warfare in Israel, Ukraine, and Yemen. Since October 7th, Israel and Hamas have used drones against each other in Gaza, including in a video released by Hamas appearing to show a small drone dropping an explosive on a squad of Israeli soldiers. Yemen's Houthi rebels have used swarms of drones to target shipping in the Red Sea, launching at least 21 in one attack this month. And for months, Russia and Ukraine have been launching coordinated mass drone attacks at each other, with one Russian swarm in November numbering 75 drones. Now you would say, for example, again, it's more people using it for military applications like different types of drones and so forth. However, with that said, they say here, the drones used in the attacks have often come in the form of small remote-controlled aircraft popular among hobbyists. They're either outfitted with a small explosive to be dropped on the target or are simply crashed into a target as a self-detonating one-way drone. Now, dozens of tech companies are working on systems to thwart possible drone attacks, including within the US, where civilian sight might potentially be targeted, according to academics and industry analysts. So lots of potentials for, companies and so forth. And it says products in development in the drone defense sector range from communications jamming equipment to guns that shoot rapidly, expanding nets to experimental lasers. Some of these products are quietly going through testing sponsored by the Department of Homeland Security at remote sites in Oklahoma and North Dakota, and analysts expect demand to grow rapidly, with potential customers including police departments, airports, and sports stadiums. So will there be an end to this? Who knows? But at this rate, it does not looking good, especially when you have a lot of vested interest per se, by the sounds of it anyways, to produce these types of equipment and all that. And I've been seeing online recently, this term has been going around a lot, Disease X, where apparently it's a warning of sort where there's going to be a new pandemic coming that is deadlier than before. So what is going on? Apparently it has to do, for example, with the WEF, and they're going to have a meeting of sort to try to handle these types of situations. That sounds kind of suspicious, huh? It says Disease X fever infects Davos, WEF to plan response to whatever big pandemic is next. When the World Economic Forum meets in Davos next week, global leaders are set to discuss how to prevent a future unknown, quote, Disease X the World Health Organization predicts could kill 20 times more people than the recent coronavirus outbreak. The name might sound like something conjured up by Elon Musk, but the prospect of Disease X has been on the WHO's radar since it deemed the fabled pathogen a research priority in 2017. The WHO prioritizes research into Disease X alongside research into diseases like COVID-19, the Ebola virus, SARS, MERS, Zika, and others. The WHO has warned several times since the coronavirus outbreak that a future pandemic could just be around the corner. Given researchers aren't working with a known pathogen, it's just assumed a really bad one will emerge at some point. Work to prevent and ensuring global pandemic is hypothetical at best. And so there's actually a breakdown of this meeting and all that. And one of the concerns is this organization, even in the past, they used the same term, like this one here, it was an article back in 2018 saying the World Health Organization is worried about Disease X and you should be too. And as you know, something did happen not too long ago. So obviously there's different perspectives to this. People are wondering, hey, who's the culprit that's quote doing this? And at the same time, would people actually still abide by whatever authority figures will say in the future when it happens again? For example, if they say everyone locked down again, for example, or do this and that, will people actually comply? Because it seems like a lot of people are just fed up, for example, as you know, with different topics when it comes to government officials making rules and all that. Because with that thought, with rules and stuff like that too, it's actually kind of interesting because apparently even people like Google are going to change their content policy. It says here in February 2024, in terms of determining what is a quote sensitive subject. And they added things, for example, like here, political impact and public health emergencies. So I'm thinking for stuff like that, like political impact, like how would you describe that? For example, if a politician gets drunk and people report a story on that, is that considered, for example, a sensitive topic now? Or even things, for example, like public health emergencies are so broad. So like if we're back in the day, I guess, of the lockdowns, if anyone even talks about it, is that considered like a sensitive event too? So what's the big deal? I guess for a lot of people, usually on places like a YouTube, your video and stuff like that could be, I guess, quote, suppressed or something like that, or they could stop people from, let's just say, I don't know, earning an income or something like that in order to discourage, I guess, those types of topics. So I don't know if that would be the case, but it's kind of interesting how all this is coming up now too, huh? I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. What would you think? All right, see you guys later.